Captain Jake Morrison was drinking his morning coffee when the emergency alarm started ringing. He quickly put down his cup and ran to the main control room of Earth's biggest space station. The alarm meant only one thing. Someone was trying to talk to them from very far away in space. Jake looked at the big screen in front of him. His heart started beating fast when he saw what appeared on it. A strange creature was looking back at him. The alien had silver skin that looked like shiny metal and eyes that glowed with a cold blue light. "Hello, primitive humans of Earth," the alien said. Its voice sounded scary and mean. "I am High Chancellor Vextar from the Zephyrian Empire. I speak for the Galactic Council." Jake felt his hands shake a little. This was really happening. After all these years of wondering if humans were alone in space, here was proof that they were not. The alien continued talking. "We have been watching your planet for a long time. You humans are violent and dangerous. You fight wars and destroy things. We cannot let you spread this violence to other planets." Behind Jake, his team was recording everything the alien said. They were also sending the message down to Earth so that the government leaders could see it too. "The Galactic Council has made a decision," Vextar said. "You have exactly 72 hours to give up all your weapons and spaceships. You must also tear down all your space stations and satellite systems. If you do this, we will let you live under our control." The screen changed to show huge alien warships floating in space. There were so many of them that Jake could not count them all. Each ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. They looked powerful and scary. "But if you do not obey us," the alien said, "we will destroy your entire planet. Every human will die. This is not a discussion or a negotiation. This is your final warning." The alien's face got closer to the screen. "Do not think you can fight us. We have destroyed many planets before yours. Your weapons are like toys compared to ours. You have 72 hours. Choose wisely." The transmission ended suddenly. The control room became very quiet. Everyone was looking at Jake, waiting for him to say something. Jake pressed a button to connect to Earth. Soon, Admiral Lisa Carter's face appeared on another screen. She was the highest-ranking military officer on Earth. Even though she was getting old, she was still very smart and brave. "Captain Morrison," she said, "I saw the message too. This is bad, but we are not going to panic." "Admiral, what are we going to do?" Jake asked. "Those ships look incredibly powerful. Do we really have any chance against them?" Admiral Carter smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "Jake, let me tell you something I learned during my many years as a soldier. Sometimes the best way to win a fight is to let your enemy think you are weak." Down on Earth, the alien message was being shown to world leaders in secret meetings. In Washington, General Paul Hughes was talking to other military commanders. The meeting room was full of people in uniforms with serious faces. "Everyone listen carefully," General Hughes said. "This is exactly what we have been preparing for. 15 years ago, we started a secret project because we knew this day might come." Colonel Sam Rodriguez raised his hand. "General, are you talking about Project Darkstar?" "Yes, among other secret projects. The question now is whether we are ready for such a big threat." Commander Amy Foster leaned forward in her chair. "General, I think the aliens made a big mistake. They have been watching us, but they think we are stupid and weak. They do not know what we are really capable of." Major Chris Taylor, who was taking notes, spoke up. "Sir, what should we tell the public? People will panic if they know aliens are threatening to destroy Earth." General Hughes thought for a moment. "We will tell them that we are in talks with an alien civilization. We will not mention the threat. Meanwhile, we need to activate all our hidden defenses." The meeting went on for many hours. The military leaders made plans for the most important battle in human history. They knew they had to be very careful and very smart. Dr. Sarah Johnson, Earth's top scientist, was also in the meeting. She had been studying alien technology for years, using pieces from crashed alien ships that the government had found. "General Hughes," she said, "I have been working on understanding alien technology. Their ships are very advanced, but they have weaknesses. They rely too much on computers and not enough on human creativity." Commander Foster nodded. "That could be our advantage. Humans are very good at thinking of new solutions when we are in danger. In space, Captain Jake Morrison was getting ready for what might be the last 3 days of human independence. He looked out the window of his space station at the beautiful blue planet below. Earth looked so peaceful from up here, but he knew that was about to change. Jake called his team together. Listen up, everyone. We have received orders from Earth Command. We are going to pretend to surrender to the aliens, but we are really preparing for a fight. Lieutenant Dan Murphy, his weapons officer, looked confused. Captain, how can we fight those huge ships? They must have weapons we cannot even imagine. Dan, humans have survived for thousands of years by being smarter than our enemies, not stronger. We are going to use our brains to win this fight. Back on Earth, people in cities around the world were starting to notice that something was different. Military vehicles were moving through the streets, but the government said it was just a training exercise. In hidden bases under the ground, soldiers were preparing secret weapons that most people did not know existed. For 15 years, Earth's best scientists and engineers had been building defenses against exactly this kind of threat. Admiral Carter was in her command center deep underground. She was looking at screens that showed information from all over the solar system. She could see the alien ships waiting at the edge of their solar system, probably thinking that humans would give up without a fight. They think we are primitive and scared, she said to her assistant, but they are about to learn something important about humans. We do not give up easily. The countdown had begun. 72 hours to surrender or face the destruction of Earth. But the aliens did not know that humans had been preparing for this moment for a very long time. As the first day passed, messages went out to secret military bases all over Earth and throughout the solar system. The message was simple but very important. Get ready for the most important battle humans had ever fought. The aliens thought they were dealing with a weak and frightened planet. They were about to discover just how wrong they were. The next morning, something strange happened. Admiral Lisa Carter appeared on television screens all around the world. She was wearing her best uniform and looked very serious. Behind her was the American flag and the Earth Defense Force symbol. My fellow humans, she began, I have an important announcement to make. After careful thinking about the alien demands, Earth's leaders have decided to surrender. People watching on TV gasped. Many started crying. They could not believe that Earth was giving up without a fight. Admiral Carter continued speaking. We have seen the power of the Galactic Council's fleet. Their technology is far beyond ours. Fighting them would only lead to the death of everyone on Earth. Therefore, we choose to surrender and accept their rule. But something was different about the way Admiral Carter was speaking. She kept moving her hands in strange ways. Most people watching did not notice, but military officers around the world saw the hand signals. They were secret codes that meant the exact opposite of what she was saying. The real message was simple. Get ready to fight, this is all fake. Captain Jake Morrison was watching the broadcast from his space station. When he saw Admiral Carter's hand signals, he knew what to do. He turned to his crew and made an announcement. Attention, everyone. We have received orders to shut down all our weapons and defense systems. This is part of our surrender to the alien forces. Jake's crew looked sad and scared. They started turning off the big guns and shield generators that protected the space station. To anyone watching from outside, it looked like Earth was really giving up. But Jake had also received secret orders through a hidden communication system. While his crew shut down the main weapons, they were secretly activating backup systems that the aliens could not detect. Far away in the asteroid belt, Commander Steve Parker was sitting in the captain's chair of a very special ship. The ship was called the EDF Retribution, but officially it did not exist. The government had built 12 ships like this one in complete secrecy. These ships were invisible. They used special technology that made them impossible to see on any radar or sensor. The technology had come from studying pieces of crashed alien ships that Earth had found years ago. Commander, said his weapons officer, Lieutenant Dan Murphy, we are getting the secret activation signal. All the hidden ships are ready. Steve nodded. Good. Tell all the ghost ships to get into position. Operation Dark Star is starting now. The Ghost Fleet had been Earth's biggest secret for 10 years. While everyone thought Earth only had normal spaceships and weapons, The military had been building these invisible warships in hidden factories throughout the solar system. Each ghost ship had weapons designed specifically to fight aliens. Earth scientists had been studying alien technology for years, learning about their shields and weapons. They had built guns that could break through alien defenses. On Earth, Lieutenant Colonel Kate Williams was in charge of shutting down the planet's defense systems. Military bases around the world were broadcasting surrender messages. They showed the aliens that they were opening their missile doors and emptying out their weapons. TV news showed soldiers coming out of underground bunkers with their hands up. Nuclear submarines came to the surface of the ocean to show they were not hiding. Air Force bases opened their hangars to prove they were not preparing planes for attack. But this was all a show for the aliens. The real defense systems were hidden underground where no one could see them. For the past 10 years, Earth had been building huge weapons under farms, cities, and mountains. These hidden weapons were particle beam cannons that could shoot energy beams into space. They were powered by small fusion reactors that produced no heat or radiation that aliens could detect. Each weapon was strong enough to destroy an alien battleship. General Paul Hughes was standing in a secret command center built deep under a mountain in Colorado. The room was huge and filled with computers and screens showing information from all over the solar system. "What is our status?" he asked his assistant, Major Chris Taylor. "All ghost ships are in position around the solar system," Major Taylor reported. "The alien fleet is still waiting at the edge of our solar system. They seem to believe our surrender is real. What about the people in the cities?" 93% of civilians are in underground shelters. We told them that a dangerous solar storm was coming, so they needed to hide underground for safety. General Hughes was glad that the people were safe. If the battle went badly, at least most humans would survive in the deep shelters that had been built under every major city. Meanwhile, the alien fleet was getting ready to move closer to Earth. High Chancellor Vexatar was very happy as he read reports from his intelligence officers. "Excellent," he said to his crew. "The humans are surrendering exactly as we predicted. Our sensors show that their defense systems are shutting down all over their planet." One of his officers, a bug-like creature named Clicks, seemed worried. "Chancellor, I have studied human military history. They are known for using tricks and false surrenders. Maybe we should be more careful." Vextar laughed. "Clicks, you worry too much. These humans have barely learned to fly in space. What kind of threat could they possibly be to our mighty fleet? We have conquered hundreds of worlds. Earth will be just another easy victory." The other alien officers agreed with their leader. They had never met any species that could fight against their advanced technology. They were sure that Earth would be no different from all the other planets they had conquered. Dr. Sarah Johnson was working in a secret laboratory under the desert in Nevada. She and her team had been preparing special surprises for the aliens. They had built computer viruses that could attack alien ship systems and electromagnetic weapons that could disable alien electronics. "How long until the aliens get here?" she asked her assistant. "Our spy satellites show they will reach Earth's orbit in about 6 hours, came the reply. "Perfect. That gives us just enough time to finish uploading our computer viruses into their communication systems." For years, Earth had been secretly listening to alien radio transmissions. They had learned how alien computers worked and had prepared digital weapons to attack them. As the hours passed, both sides prepared for what was coming. The aliens prepared for a simple takeover of a surrendered planet. They planned to land their troops in major cities and take control of Earth's governments. But Earth was preparing for the biggest surprise attack in human history. Every hidden weapon was charged and ready. Every ghost ship was in perfect position. Every soldier knew exactly what to do when the signal came. The aliens thought they were about to claim an easy victory. They had no idea that they were flying into the most carefully prepared trap that humans had ever built. The deception was working perfectly. Soon, the Galactic Council would learn what happened when they underestimated the people of Earth. As the 72-hour deadline expired, the Galactic Council fleet began its advance into the solar system. High Chancellor Vextar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Dominion's Will, watching with satisfaction as his force of 67 capital ships moved in perfect formation toward the seemingly defenseless Earth. "Deploy occupation forces to the major population centers," he commanded. "Begin with their capital cities. I want administrative control established within 6 hours." What the Chancellor didn't realize was that every movement of his fleet was being tracked by sensors so advanced that they remained completely undetectable. Deep beneath Earth's surface, General Hughes watched the tactical display with cold determination. "They're taking the bait perfectly," he murmured to his staff. "All ships maintaining radio silence until my command." Captain Jake Morrison, still aboard the orbital station, played his part flawlessly. When alien boarding shuttles approached his position, he offered no resistance. The station's crew had been evacuated hours earlier through hidden escape pods, leaving only skeleton crews to maintain the illusion of normal operations. The first phase of the alien occupation proceeded exactly as Vextar had planned. Landing craft descended toward major cities while his capital ships took up positions throughout the inner solar system. To all appearances, Earth was completely helpless. Then, at precisely 14:30 Greenwich Mean Time, Admiral Carter gave the order that changed everything. Execute Operation Darkstar. The response was instantaneous and devastating. Commander Steve, Parker's ship, the EDF Retribution, decloaked directly behind the alien flagship. Before the enemy could react, Parker fired every weapon at his disposal. Humanity's most advanced particle beams and quantum torpedoes struck the Dominion's Will's rear shields with the force of a small star. "Target their command structure," Parker ordered his weapons officer, Lieutenant Dan Murphy. "I want that ship crippled, not destroyed. We need prisoners." Across the solar system, 11 more ghost ships simultaneously revealed themselves. Each had positioned itself for maximum tactical advantage, using the aliens' own formation against them. The element of surprise was total and devastating. High Chancellor Vextar staggered as his ship's bridge exploded around him. Emergency lighting cast eerie shadows as his crew struggled to understand what was happening. "Report!" he screamed, his silver skin now pale with shock. "Multiple unknown vessels have appeared throughout our formation," his tactical officer stammered. "Our shields are down to 30%. They're using weapons we've never encountered before." On Earth, Lieutenant Colonel Kate Williams activated the planet's hidden defense grid. Across 6 continents, massive particle cannons emerged from concealment and began tracking alien targets. The weapons had been designed specifically to penetrate Galactic Council shielding, using principles discovered through years of analyzing. Intercepted alien communications. "All batteries fire at will," Williams commanded. The sky above Earth lit up with beams of coherent energy that reached into space with pinpoint accuracy. Alien ships that had seemed invulnerable moments before found their shields collapsing under the onslaught of weapons they had never imagined humans could possess. Captain Tony Blake, commanding the EDF Defiance, led a squadron of ghost ships against the alien fleet's left flank. His tactical brilliance was on full display as he used the gravitational field of Jupiter to slingshot his ships into perfect attack positions. "Remember, people," Blake transmitted to his squadron. "These aliens came here expecting to find primitives with sticks and stones. Let's show them what human ingenuity really looks like." The battle that followed was unlike anything in recorded galactic history. The Galactic Council had expected a simple occupation. Instead, they found themselves fighting for their lives, against an enemy that seemed to anticipate their every move. The aliens' superior technology meant nothing when humans had spent years preparing specifically to counter it. Every weapon system, every defensive protocol, every tactical doctrine the Council employed had been studied and countered by Earth's military scientists. Within 2 hours of the battle's beginning, more than half of the alien fleet was either destroyed or disabled. The remainder found themselves trapped in a carefully orchestrated web of human ships and orbital defenses. High Chancellor Vextar, his flagship crippled and burning, finally understood the magnitude of his mistake. As he watched human ships methodically dismantle his fleet, he realized that Earth hadn't just defeated the Galactic Council, they had utterly humiliated them. "How is this possible?" he whispered, staring at the tactical display showing the systematic destruction of his forces. Commander Amy Foster, now aboard the captured alien command ship, looked down at the defeated Chancellor with no sympathy in her eyes. "You made the oldest mistake in military history," she told him. "You underestimated your enemy." The silence after the battle was deeper than any victory celebration could have been. In just 4 hours, humanity had not only defeated the most powerful military force in the galaxy, but had done it so completely that the entire universe would never be the same. Admiral Tony Blake stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking out at what remained of the alien fleet. Around him, 17 broken alien ships floated helplessly in space. Their crews were either captured or floating in emergency life pods. The other 50 ships had been completely destroyed. "Admiral Carter," Tony reported through his communication system, "the solar system is completely secure. We have captured about 3,000 alien prisoners, and we now have examples of their most advanced technology." From her command center, on Earth, Admiral Carter's voice carried satisfaction mixed with relief. "Excellent work, Tony. Now comes the harder part. We need to make sure the galaxy knows that Earth is not to be messed with, but we also cannot look like the bad guys here." The news of what happened was already spreading across the galaxy faster than light through the alien communication networks. Species that had lived under Galactic Council control for hundreds of years suddenly found themselves questioning everything they had been told. General Hughes came out of his underground command bunker for the first time in 3 days. He had to squint in the bright sunlight as he walked to the surface briefing room. Representatives from every major Earth government were waiting for him, along with a secure video connection to the captured alien leaders. High Chancellor Vextar, now a prisoner aboard the EDF Retribution, faced the human leaders with whatever dignity he had left. His silver skin had lost its shine, and his once proud posture was broken by the reality of his complete defeat. "Humans of Earth," he began, his voice much quieter than before. "The Galactic Council admits that we badly underestimated your abilities. However, you must understand that our defeat here will not be ignored. The Council represents over 400 species across this part of the galaxy." Admiral Carter leaned forward in her chair. "Chancellor, let me make something very clear to you. Your fleet came to our solar system planning to kill every single human being. The only reason you are still alive is because we chose to show you mercy. Do not mistake that mercy for weakness." Captain Jake Morrison, now back on Earth after his space station was freed, provided the analysis that made everything clear. "Our intelligence shows that the force you brought here was about 30% of the Galactic Council's total military power. We destroyed or captured that entire force without losing even one ship. You can do the math on what that means for any future attacks." The numbers were shocking. If humanity could defeat 30% of the Council's forces without any losses, what could they do if the Council tried to send their entire military? Commander Steve Parker, still aboard his ghost ship, was already putting the next phase of Earth's plan into action. His ship, along with 3 others, had been sent to the edges of known space to set up monitoring stations. If the Galactic Council tried any kind of revenge, humanity would know about it long before it reached Earth. Lieutenant Colonel Kate Williams had been given perhaps the most important job of all, studying the captured alien technology. In secret, laboratories all over Earth, teams of scientists worked day and night to understand and improve the advanced systems they had taken from the aliens. "The energy systems in their weapons are amazing," she reported to the military leaders. "But their targeting computers are surprisingly basic. They depend too much on automation and not enough on human-style thinking and quick adaptation." This discovery explained much of humanity's success. While alien technology was often more powerful in raw terms, human tactical thinking and ability to adapt quickly had proven to be the deciding factors. 3 weeks after the battle, Admiral Carter received a message that would change galactic history. It did not come from the Galactic Council, but from a group of previously conquered species who had formed something called the Free Worlds Alliance. "Admiral Carter of Earth," the message began, "we represent 47 worlds that have lived under Council control for over 200 years. Your victory has inspired us to seek our own freedom. We would like to propose a mutual defense treaty with Earth." This message was followed by similar requests from dozens of other species and political groups throughout the galaxy. The defeat of the Galactic Council had created a power vacuum, and Earth found itself at the center of a new galactic order. General Hughes, now effectively serving as Earth's first ambassador to the galaxy, found himself in the unusual position of having to control humanity's newfound influence. "We need to be very careful here," he warned the world leaders. "We have proven we can defend ourselves, but we do not want to become the very thing we just defeated. Our goal should be to ensure freedom and self-determination for all species, not to build a human empire." The wisdom of this approach became clear when the remaining parts of the Galactic Council tried to negotiate a peace treaty 6 months after their defeat. High Chancellor Vextar, who had been released as a sign of good faith, returned to his people with a very different view of humanity than he had before. "The humans could have destroyed us completely," he reported to the surviving council members. "Instead, they chose to show their principles through their actions. They do not want conquest but cooperation. Perhaps it is time for the council to learn a new way of thinking." The treaty that came from these negotiations made Earth a sovereign power with full rights and recognition in the galactic community. More importantly, it created a new system for relations between species based on mutual respect rather than domination. Commander Amy Foster, now promoted to Admiral and serving as Earth's first galactic ambassador, summed up the new reality. During the treaty signing ceremony, "Today marks not just the end of a conflict but the beginning of a new era. Humanity has learned that we are not alone in the universe, and the universe has learned that humanity will not be bullied or conquered. Together we can build a galaxy where all species can live in freedom." As the ceremony ended and the various alien representatives left, Admiral Carter stood looking out at the stars from her office window. The little girl who had once dreamed of exploring those distant suns had grown into the woman who had helped secure humanity's place among them. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would humanity. Earth's brutal counterattack had indeed left the Galactic Council stunned, but more importantly, it had opened the door to a future where strength was measured not by the ability to conquer others but by the wisdom to know when not to use that strength. The age of human expansion into the galaxy had begun, not through conquest, but through the respect earned by those who had dared to stand up for their right to exist as equals among the stars.